Hello, income investors. Welcome back to the Harvesting Income channel. If you're watching this from Canada, wishing you happy Canada Day. And if you're watching this from the American side, wishing you all happy Independence Day. Okay, today I'm going to talk about an exchange traded fund which covers exposure to Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. Not just Bitcoin, but multiple cryptocurrencies. Plus, they also invest in crypto companies or crypto infrastructure companies. Plus, they also use the option strategy to generate income on a regular basis and reduce the volatility. So, the name of the fund or the ticker symbol is BLOX, and this is from the Nicholas, funds. I will introduce that fund in the next slide. So, stay tuned. Okay, blocks are the Nicholas Crypto Income ETF. This was launched in June 2025, last year. So just 1 year of history we have so far. And assets under management is about 316 million. And as I mentioned to you, this gives you exposure to Bitcoin plus Ether, plus a few other cryptos also. I think they have added a few more. Plus they have crypto companies or crypto industry players. Plus you have the weekly income because they write options. They're able to generate that weekly income. So that's the idea of how this overall portfolio works. So this is for someone who is looking for that crypto exposure, but you don't want to invest in just one currency or one asset. You want one all-in-one solution. So as you saw in the thumbnail, this serves like the all-in-one solution that people are looking for. Now let's look into the further information. Before that, note that this video is only for educational purposes. Nothing contained here is financial advice. So if you need specific advice, consult your tax professional or financial advisor. With that, let's move to the next area, which is the structure of the fund or the portfolio. So basically, the fund holds some direct stock holdings, plus they also hold Bitcoin and Ether ETFs, plus they also have other ETFs. So they hold two sets of ETFs. One is their own in-house Nicholas ETFs from their own fund house, and they also hold external ETFs from other providers, basically from other fund management companies. So in the investing strategy side, they do put spreads, covered calls, credit spreads, credit spreads on the covered call side, and multiple option strategies. So that part is beyond the scope for this video. I mean, we can do a separate video on that itself. Uh, like this fund is little complex because it's very difficult to understand the specific strategies, because this fund uses certain strategies for certain markets, certain conditions, and certain other strategies for other types of markets. For example, they may do put spreads currently, and they may start doing covered calls, next week, and so on. Like it could change depending on how the markets are moving and how the fund manager keeps tracks of different strategies. Um, Basically, they adapt to the market conditions, right? Depending on the market condition, they do the specific strategy, and this is something that you want to pay attention. They're paying like 30 to 40% yield per year. That's the target that they are uh, you know uh, shooting to achieve, like, and they are actually giving that level of distributions. However, this is a little debatable part. This is something you need to do research on. They pay the 30 to 40% yield every month. I have seen that they are able to pay that. However, are they able to maintain the consistency? That's the question that you want to ask, because if it is not consistent, then it is not worth investing in this fund. Because if you have a NAV erosion, then later on you're losing your capital, but you're getting dividends, which is not covering your loss of capital. So that is something to look into. In the description, I'm going to include a video from another channel just for the reference. So in that channel, which is known as the Dividend Stockpile, I think that's the name of the channel, they have arranged interview with the fund manager, and in that discussion or the interview, the fund manager explains certain parts of the strategy or how the fund works. You can look into that video, like all that video belongs to the respective channel. So we are not endorsing or taking any information from there. All the information here is from the fund house. Okay, so basically the cost for this fund is like 0.99%. Because it involves multiple option strategies. The expense ratio part is a little higher, fee is a little higher, but it's kind of justified. And if you look at the returns, this is where it is very tricky. I did the returns for 1 year. This is the 1 year performance. Like the price wise, they lost about 22%, but in terms of distribution, they're paying 43%. So of course they earn that amount of money as well. But the problem is, like, when the Bitcoin prices crash, you are going to get that negative impact on the fund NAV. So price return going negative doesn't mean that the fund itself is not doing well. The fund is actually tracking the Bitcoin performance. So obviously the fund is also going to give you negative returns. And because the distributions are highly positive, the total return works out to 20.9. So I don't like to see this kind of pattern, because you have a higher distribution but you are losing on the capital. Net net you are positive, but still it's a little difficult to get around your head. So I mean, I'm sharing my thoughts here. Like, you can debate this, either in the positive way, pro, or you can debate in the negative way and say this fund is not good. My thoughts: this superior yield seems to be achievable. I looked at the dividend track record; it is achievable. But a lot of study needs to be done. This is a new fund for me. Like, probably this has been in existence for some time, but this is relatively new for me. So I would tell you to approach this with a lot of caution. And the prices can go negative if underlying Bitcoin prices or even cryptocurrency prices fall. So that is something you have to be able to stomach. Like, sometimes it may fall and not recover for the next 1 year or 2 years. So are you willing to take that kind of risk? Is your portfolio allowing that kind of risk profile? Can you stay invested for long that way? So that's the question you need to ask yourself. So overall the returns are positive, but if the Bitcoin price recovers, let's say Bitcoin goes back to $100,000, I'm just giving an hypothetical scenario. Will the fund recover with the pace of Bitcoin in the future? So that's the $1 million question. Even I don't know the answer. So yeah, if you have any thoughts on this question, you have any answer for this, please share them in the description below, so we can have a discussion on that. Okay, my takeaways from this fund is basically high in terms of the income, but in terms of the appreciation potential is also, it is good. The only thing that is concerning is basically the ability of the fund to maintain its distribution and also maintain its price. It can maintain the distribution, but I don't know if it can really maintain the price part of it. you, the second advantage that you have is you have one ticket exposure to cryptocurrency. Whether it is through ETFs or ETPs, they have different options. I will quickly show you the fund page where they show you the holdings. It's a little complex compared to the regular covered call funds. Okay, look at the top 10 holdings listed in the table. Yeah, don't look at the logo on the left, because that is completely different. Yeah, so here you can see June 29th, as of this date. You have this Hut, Riot Platforms, Cyber Digital, Taiwan Manufacturing, and they have their own Bitcoin and Treasuries ETF, Galaxy Digital, again Bitcoin Tail ETF, Iron, VanEck Bitcoin ETF, and so on. So they have a mix of different funds, and just increasing the size so you can see this. So you can see majority of these companies are either Bitcoin miners or Bitcoin oriented companies, or funds which invest in cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin. And of course, they also have some semiconductor companies and AI oriented infrastructure companies. Uh, there are different types of companies that they are investing in. So that's the quick summary about the holdings. These are just the top 10. They have more, like, so if you go to this place where you can download all the holdings and you can look into it. But you can understand from here, if I read this, Block will invest crypto industry companies engaged in crypto asset mining, blockchain technology, crypto trading platform, payment processing, DeFi technology providers within the crypto space, and companies that directly invest in the crypto. So you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, plus also the blockchain companies, trading platforms, payment processing platforms, and various other companies which are in that sector, that space. This reminds me of another fund. Let me go back to the slides. Another fund which is called the Harvest, I think it's HBTE, Harvest Bitcoin Enhanced Technology Companies. They have similar kind of concept. You can see one of my previous videos on HBTE. So that would, give you some idea of similar fund in the Canadian market. Okay, now the other pro is they have multiple option strategies. It's not just covered calls. They also do put spreads and call spreads and so on. So they are trying to create income in multiple ways than mere covered call. So that's the reason why you see the higher yield, because the multiple strategies provide you multiple ways of creating that income. The other advantage is there is some new technology in AI exposure, even blockchain companies, artificial intelligence, and also semiconductor, etc. So according to the fund, like this is not my view. According to the fund, this exposure provides you a more diversified exposure to the new technologies, including cryptocurrencies, blockchain, artificial intelligence, and futuristic technology companies. So that actually diversifies your portfolio exposure to various areas. It's not just one cryptocurrency or just the cryptocurrency space. They are into other areas as well. So that adds a layer of risk for me. Like I feel that it's a layer of risk for many moderate or conservative investors. But for some people who understand the technology, understand the space, this could be a good option. Uh, there is a risk, but there is also a diversification to manage the risk. So depending on how you look at it, it can be a con as well. Now let's go to the other side. What are the drawbacks? Let me zoom in a little bit. It's a volatile sector, and assets are highly volatile in the crypto space. That's obvious con. And there is a lot of complex option strategies. Like you don't know what is going on in the black box or in the strategies and how it is being employed, and is it benefiting you or is it creating NAV erosion? Is it going to create a potential for higher growth, or is it going to be eroding NAV, or is it going to be just good income combined with good appreciation, or do you have to compromise on the appreciation part? So those are the questions that need to be answered. And the price returns are influenced by the Bitcoin prices dramatically. That's one major issue. If Bitcoin prices fall off and go into a bearish pattern, then this fund is going to get affected. The last point is very important. The high distributions can vary. So just because you're getting some amount of distribution every month, like 3% a month or something, it isn't it is not sustain. It may not sustain in the future, or it can vary a lot. Like sometimes you might get more distribution, sometimes you get less. It is very variable. Like if you're looking for something like a steady income, um, this may not be suitable for you. If you're okay with the variation in income, it could be an option. And again, it may or may not sustain. We don't know. The time will tell. So that's the summary of this one, and I hope you like this video. And one caution that I would put in here is, uh, even I have done limited research on the blocks fund. This is a newer fund and this is a newer concept, so tread with caution. Before you invest, always check the track record and the history, and then you can make a decision on whether you want to own the fund or you want to keep it on your watch list for the future. I hope you like this video, and if you liked what you're watching, please subscribe to the channel and keep watching. Thank you. Have a great day.